She was trapped in a sick fairy tale, forced to play the dying child while her mother cashed in on the lies. But Gypsy Rose Blanchard had a secret: she wasn't sick at all. And in 2015, she did the unthinkable: she plotted her own mother's murder. Now, after 8 years in prison, Gypsy is free, and her shocking new confessions reveal the darkest truths yet. Tonight, we expose how Dee Dee Blanchard faked her daughter's illnesses for years, why doctors never questioned it, and what really happened the night Gypsy's boyfriend stabbed Dee Dee 17 times. Was it self-defense? Revenge? Or something even more twisted? We drop brand new true crime stories every 3 days. If you're hooked, smash that subscribe button, because our next video will make you question everything you thought you knew about perfect families. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's life was a carefully staged lie. From the moment she was born, her mother, Dee Dee, convinced everyone, doctors, charities, even Gypsy herself, that she was desperately sick. Leukemia, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy. The diagnoses piled up, but none of them were real. The truth? Gypsy was perfectly healthy. Dee Dee forced her daughter into wheelchairs she didn't need, shaved her head to mimic chemotherapy, and pumped her full of medications that made her sick. Neighbors in their Missouri town pitied them, donating money and gifts. Charities sent them on free trips to Disney World. But behind closed doors, Gypsy wasn't the helpless child people saw. She could walk. She could think. And by her 20s, she'd secretly taught herself to use the internet, where she discovered the shocking truth: she wasn't sick at all. But escaping Dee Dee wasn't as simple as just running away. Gypsy had no ID, no money, and no proof of her real age. Her mother had spent years telling the world Gypsy was mentally a child, even though she was a grown woman. Then, Gypsy met Nicholas Gojan online, a man who promised to save her. Their messages grew darker, until one day, Gypsy typed the words that would change everything: kill her. What followed was a twisted plot of duct tape, knives, and a murder that would divide the world. Was Gypsy a victim fighting back? Or a manipulator who found the perfect pawn? The answer lies in the years of abuse, and the secrets Gypsy is only now revealing. The plan started with a boy she met online. Nicholas Gojan was lonely, obsessed with violent fantasies, and desperate to be someone's hero. When Gypsy Rose whispered about escaping her mother, he saw his chance. Their messages grew darker by the day, until Gypsy finally typed the words that sealed Dee Dee's fate: kill her for me. For months, they plotted. Gypsy stole cash from Dee Dee's stash, money meant for her medical treatments, and sent it to Nicholas for bus tickets. She researched murder weapons online, finally settling on a hunting knife. Then, on June 14, 2015, Nicholas arrived at their Missouri home with the blade hidden in his backpack. Gypsy let him in, then hid in the bathroom while he crept into Dee Dee's bedroom. What happened next was brutal: 17 stab wounds, some so deep they pierced the mattress beneath her. But the most chilling detail? Gypsy had planned the alibi. She made sure Nicholas left the knife in Dee Dee's hand, to stage a break-in. After it was over, Gypsy didn't cry. She didn't panic. She packed a bag, took Dee Dee's cash, and filmed herself laughing in a motel room with Nicholas. Then, in a move that would later haunt her trial, she posted on Dee Dee's Facebook, "That bitch is dead." When police found them days later, Gypsy's first words were, "I'm free." But freedom came at a cost. The same social media posts that proved Dee Dee's abuse also proved Gypsy's cold calculation. The knife, the texts, the stolen money, none of it looked like self-defense. It looked like revenge. And one question still lingers: if Gypsy was smart enough to plan a murder, why didn't she just run away? The courtroom became a battleground over one question: was Gypsy Rose a victim or a killer? Prosecutors painted her as the mastermind, pointing to her chilling Facebook post, the stolen cash, and months of planning. The defense argued she was a prisoner finally breaking free, abused for so long that murder felt like her only escape. In the end, the jury saw both sides. Gypsy took a plea deal, 10 years for second-degree murder. Nicholas, who wielded the knife, got life without parole. But prison changed Gypsy in ways no one expected. Behind bars, she finally got something she'd never had, the truth. Medical tests confirmed she was never sick. She learned to walk without pretending. For the first time, she made friends who wanted nothing from her. Yet interviews from inside revealed a haunting conflict. Gypsy didn't regret Dee Dee's death, but she did regret trusting Nicholas. "I could have just run away," she admitted. "But I didn't know how to be free." The world remained divided. Supporters saw her as a Munchausen by proxy survivor. Critics pointed to her jailhouse phone calls, where she giggled about fan mail and said, "I'm kinda famous now." Even her marriage to a man who wrote to her in prison raised eyebrows. Was she still seeking someone to control her? When Gypsy walked out of prison in December 2023, she wasn't the same girl who'd hidden in that bathroom. But one question followed her: after a lifetime of lies, could she ever really be free? Gypsy Rose walked out of prison in 2024 with a bombshell: everything you know is only half the story. In interviews since her release, she's revealed secrets even the detectives never heard, like the night Dee Dee chained her to a bed for trying to stand. "She told the doctors I had seizures so they'd prescribe more meds," Gypsy admits. "But really? She just didn't want me running." Then came the darkest confession: Dee Dee forced Gypsy to act disabled in the shower, making her slump naked under the water to prove she couldn't wash herself. Neighbors who thought they were helping a sick child were actually funding a mother's sick game. But here's what's troubling critics: why is Gypsy only saying this now? Some point to her new memoir, her paid interviews, and that viral TikTok where she jokes, "Who needs Ozempic when you had my mom?" The most haunting reveal? Gypsy claims she still hears Dee Dee's voice, not in grief, but in habit. "Sometimes I'll drop something and wait for her to scream," she says. "Then I remember. I'm the one who silenced her." Yet doubts linger. Former cellmates say Gypsy practiced her victim voice for the parole board. And those missing medical files? No one can prove Dee Dee destroyed them, or if they ever existed. One thing's certain: Gypsy's learned the power of a story. The question is, how much of hers is true? Even after Gypsy Rose's confessions, this case is far from closed. Here are the chilling questions that still haunt investigators. Where are the medical records? Dee Dee's files, the ones that could prove her scams, vanished after the murder. Did someone destroy them? Or were they never real to begin with? Why did Gypsy wait until prison to speak up? She spent years playing the perfect victim for Dee Dee. Now, critics ask, is she still performing, this time for cameras and book deals? What really happened to the $300,000 in donations? Charities gave the Blanchards free homes, Disney trips, and cash. Yet after Dee Dee's death, only $5,000 was found. Who benefited? Was Nicholas Gojan the only accomplice? Gypsy claims she acted alone, but deleted texts show she asked multiple online friends for help before choosing Nicholas. Why did Gypsy's family stay silent? Dee Dee's relatives admit they suspected something was off, yet no one intervened. Were they fooled? Or complicit? The darkest theory of all. Some detectives believe Dee Dee wasn't working alone, that she was part of a larger network scamming charities. Gypsy's sudden fame makes digging deeper dangerous. One thing's certain: every answer leads to more questions. And with Gypsy now free, the truth may stay buried forever. Gypsy Rose's story isn't just crime drama, it's a wake-up call. About how lies can chain someone tighter than any rope. About how the world often sees what it wants to see. And about what happens when desperation meets opportunity. Right now, someone you know might be living a lie like Gypsy did. If your gut says something's wrong, trust it. Speak up. You could save a life before it's too late. We bring you disturbing true cases like this every 3 days. Want to understand how minds like Dee Dee's work? Need to see the warning signs? Hit subscribe and smash that bell icon because tomorrow's video will shock you even more. We're exposing a perfect father who got away with the unthinkable for 15 years, until his own child did what Gypsy did. Before you go, tell us in comments, does surviving abuse justify murder? Where would you draw the line? The most thought-provoking comment gets pinned next week. And remember, the scariest monsters don't hide in shadows. They hide in plain sight.